In the quiet moments of the day, when the world finally becomes still, there is a sound that grows louder than anything outside of you. It is not the noise of the streets, not the voices of strangers, not even the chaos of life itself. It is the echo of a single thought. What did they mean by that? And just like that, your mind begins to spin. A simple comment becomes a mystery. A casual glance becomes a judgment. A silence becomes rejection. You replay conversations like broken films. You dissect words that were never meant to cut so deeply. You search for hidden meanings in places where there may be none. And slowly, without realizing it, you begin living inside other people's minds more than your own. That is the prison of overthinking, not built with walls, but built with imagined opinions. The Stoics understood this pain long before the modern world gave it new forms. Marcus Aurelius once wrote that we suffer not because of things themselves, but because of the meaning we attach to them. And what is overthinking, if not meaning gone wild? It is the mind desperately trying to control what was never ours, to control how people see us, what they say about us, what they think when we leave the room. But here is the first truth, quiet and unsettling: most of what you fear is not real. It is not happening in the world. It is happening in your interpretation. Someone speaks sharply, and you assume they dislike you. Someone doesn't respond, and you assume you are forgotten. Someone laughs, and you assume it is about you. But you do not know. You are guessing, and yet you punish yourself as if your guesses are facts. The Stoic path begins with separating reality from imagination. Reality is simple. Reality is what was said, what was done, what happened. Everything else is the story your mind writes in the dark. And the mind is a storyteller that often forgets compassion. The second truth is even deeper. You cannot control what others say about you, and this is where most suffering begins. You want to manage the world's perception of you like a fragile glass sculpture. You want to be understood perfectly, liked consistently, approved endlessly. But Stoicism teaches something radical: your reputation is not fully yours. It lives in other people's minds, and their minds are not your home. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid, not because you are foolish, but because freedom begins the moment you stop needing to correct every misunderstanding." People will misunderstand you. People will project onto you. People will speak from their own pain, their own insecurity, their own limited view. And you will exhaust your soul trying to edit the thoughts of everyone around you. Imagine carrying a lantern through a storm, trying to keep it from flickering, while the wind belongs to the sky. That is what it feels like trying to control opinions. The Stoics invite you to release that burden, because your life was not meant to be spent chasing echoes. Overthinking is often rooted in something tender, the fear of not being enough. When someone says something that stings, it is not always their words that hurt. It is the part of you that already believed them. The comment becomes a mirror, and you stare into it too long. But Stoicism reminds you the value of your life is not determined by someone else's voice. It is determined by your character. Not what they say, not what they assume, not what they whisper, but what you choose. And this is where the philosophy becomes medicine. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If someone criticizes you, you cannot control their tongue, but you can control your response. You can control whether you become bitter or become better. If someone misunderstands you, you cannot force their clarity, but you can remain steady in your truth. If someone judges you, you cannot remove their judgment, but you can refuse to carry it. The Stoics lived by one simple distinction: some things are up to us, and some things are not. Peace begins when you stop demanding control over what was never given to you. Overthinking thrives in the future. It imagines conversations that haven't happened, rejections that may never come, opinions that may not even exist. But Stoicism pulls you back to the present. Right now, are you safe? Are you breathing? Is this moment truly broken? Or is your mind simply wandering into imagined courtrooms, where you are always on trial? Most people are not thinking about you as much as you believe. They are thinking about themselves, their own struggles, their own insecurities, their own lives. You are a passing figure in their story, just as they are in yours. And that is not depressing. That is freeing. It means you can stop performing, stop rehearsing, stop shrinking yourself into what you think they want. Because the truth is, no matter what you do, some will praise you, some will criticize you, some will misunderstand you. So the question becomes, will you live for the voices outside you, or for the voice within? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "I do what is mine to do. The rest does not disturb me." That is the calm power of Stoicism, to become so rooted in your own values that the winds of opinion cannot uproot you. This does not mean you become cold. It means you become clear. You listen when feedback is useful. You grow when correction is honest. But you do not bleed for careless words. You do not hand strangers the pen to write your worth. And slowly, you begin to understand something profound. What people say about you is often more about them than you. Their words are shaped by their experiences, their judgments by their wounds, their perceptions by their limitations. You are not responsible for the lens through which they see the world. Your responsibility is simpler: to live with virtue, to act with integrity, to meet life with steadiness. And when overthinking returns, as it always does, you breathe, you step back, you remind yourself, this is outside my control, and like clouds passing through the sky, you let it move on. Because the Stoic mind is not a battlefield, it is a quiet temple, a place where peace is not found by controlling the world, but by mastering the self. So the next time you feel trapped in someone else's opinion, remember, you were not born to be understood by everyone. You were born to live truthfully. And in the end, the only voice that must follow you is your own conscience. Let the world speak. Let people assume. Let opinions rise and fall like waves. You remain like the rock beneath the ocean, still, grounded, free. And perhaps that is the greatest release of all, to stop overthinking what people say and start living what you know is right. Softly, quietly, you return to yourself. And that is where peace has always been waiting.